The beginning, I know your father was a competitive cyclist. Is that how it kind of got started, you and your brothers just kind of tagging along, or what was the attraction initially for you?
Yeah, cycling is a lot of people that get into it seriously. It's because they knew someone in the sport or they had a family member who's already in the sport. It's definitely harder to stay in the sport than basketball or baseball, soccer, any of these things that you have a plethora of options for under 18 athletes or collegiate or high school and middle school options. So my dad raced professionally in the 80s, so I kind of just grew up around bikes. We rode BMX bikes and mountain bikes, and then I started on the track, and I really fell in love with track cycling specifically. It's on a velodrome, and it's kind of a niche portion of professional cycling, and that's what really drew me and held me in the sport.
Niche, I like that. Not every town has a velodrome. You can just drive down the street and go use your velodrome. I mean, San Diego happened to have one, or?
Yeah, that it is very true. San Diego happened to have a velodrome, and that's kind of the biggest barrier to entry for track cycling. And if you're in a city with a velodrome, it's a very easy thing to do as a kid, and it's probably a pretty safe option for cycling related activities. And it's all very contained in a venue. But yes, you're limited by the cities that have velodromes in the U.S.
You're still a kid, right? I mean, you're still in your 20s. Is this considered the prime of your physical condition in that sport? I mean, how many years can you do this?
I'm 29 right now,
Right.
and I think track cycling is very special in that way because the prime can be a pretty big range. It could be 18 for some people, and it could be early 30s for other people. And that's because to be successful at these types of races, it requires such a combination of both the physical attributes that are needed, but also the skill and basically the strategy and the experience that's needed. You can win a lot of bike races with your brain kind of and thinking through it if you have a certain level of physical ability. And so sometimes it's not always the strongest person that wins.